It was an amazing day. We had great running weather. Not too cold, and definitely that we didn't have a heat problem. So it was just a great day and great weather, and really greeted well by the city of New York. The energy level is kind of interesting at that point. You know, it's early in the morning and everyone's just kind of stretching. And then you get into the corral and the cannon goes off. And it just, the rush of energy and the New York playing in the background is just unbelievable. You cross the Verrazzano in pretty much a certain amount of quietness. You could hear the music in the background, but as you come across the bridge, that dies down. And then the minute you turn off the Verrazzano into Brooklyn, the roar of the crowd, you would think you're winning the race. Just absolutely unbelievable. People talk about the wall, and again, being a first-time marathon runner, I didn't know where I would feel that. My personal goal was really to try to run every step of it. And I got to mile 24. I went through the water station, I grabbed this water, and I just feel my body slowing down. I just, 2 miles left, which doesn't sound like much after, the distance, but it really started to slow down. And I took some steps, I took the water, and instead of running through and drinking it, I kind of started to walk a few steps and drink it. But you're in Central Park at that time, and there's about 6 deep on each side of just spectators watching and screaming and cheering. And this one group saw me stop running and start to walk a few steps and just started to chant my name. Which was, I almost looked over my shoulder like, who's calling me? I don't have any of my friends waiting at the, this area of the race. And when I started to run again a few steps, because it was almost like peer pressure to keep running, they broke out in this applause. You would have thought I was leading the race. So it's things like that that just kept me going. And like I said, in terms of the finish, that got me. And once you get on 59th Street Bridge heading into the park, you're too close. And they start having signs, how many meters, and the crowd gets thicker and thicker. So you really, again, even though thousands finished before me, you feel at that point that you are the only one in that race and you're leading this thing. So the finish was just the energy carries you through, absolutely carries you through. The other part I'll say about the finish is you cross the finish line and people who just are around you just turn to you and start hugging you. Some don't speak English because it's such an international race. You don't know who these folks are. You just literally turn to people and you start getting hugged by people who finished on your right and on your left, which is just absolutely amazing. My friends were asking me if there's any comparison in terms of what I do and doing the marathon. I think like, many jobs and many positions, you never quite know what's coming at you, and running the 5 boroughs, I never ran the 5 boroughs like that before. You don't know where the hills are going to be, you don't know where the turns are going to be, you don't know where the potholes are going to be, and sometimes in day-to-day, when you come to work, you think you know what your day is going to be like, and there's usually the element of surprise, which is what keeps it interesting, but also what keeps it challenging. So I definitely think that 26 miles can be a day, not just as the dean, but in any administrative or faculty day. It's those surprises that most race courses throw you at least once or twice, whether it's weather or terrain, that throw you off a little bit. But accomplishing them, getting through that, and getting the finish line is what makes it all worth it.